All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Sharpest Tool. I am Bosco. I'm here alongside with JRP.
I kind of like your intro a little better. I think we definitely need to be doing some alternating. I have to step up my intro game here with Bosco on the scene.
Yeah, I'm throwing a curveball at you. You ready for this?
All right, what's that?
Why should you bring an extra pair of socks golfing?
I don't know why.
In case you get a hole in one. Sorry.
Okay. I did have one prep for you, though.
No,
I did have one prep for you.
Go for it.
You had to throw. That was a good one. But why do cows wear bells?
I don't know, actually. Why?
Because their horns don't work.
I forgot about it. I felt like I read that on a popsicle stick once.
That was a good one. Oh, man. So today let's jump into the topic. Today we're talking about measuring the success of social media marketing.
I think this is the last one, right? This is kind of our last
one of the social media series. Yeah, social media series before we jump into something else. But this is super important, right? It kind of ties it all up with a big bow. We've talked about the role of video in social media marketing. We've talked about using social media for lead generation, right? Not just brand and awareness, but lead generation. We've talked about how to maximize engagement. All of these things are super important when it comes to social media and social media marketing. But
what do you do with it?
But what do you do with it? At the end of it, you're doing all these things. How do you know ultimately if it's doing what it intends to do? I think that's what we want to talk about today.
I think it's the ultimate question because a lot of the business owners out there are going to be doing that. They just go, I love what you're saying. All right. And you talk to business owners all the time. They go, yeah, that sounds great.
Oh, yeah.
But I need to measure it. Love the data. So delicious.
Oh man, and we get in data overload sometimes, right? And we live in data. I mean, we live and breathe data over here at Scorpion. It is how we produce effective campaigns is with data. Not just our data, but the data of our customers and the businesses that we work with, right? It's the marrying together of the marketing data, the things that we have the ability to see and track on our side, married together with the data of the business, what's actually producing into leads, what calls are not turning into appointments, what appointments are not turning into booked revenue for the business. These are all super important data points. And in order for any investment that you're having with marketing to move the needle for the business towards the business goals, you have to connect the dots between all these data points. Super important. It's super interesting to me on the marketing side.
A lot of dots here. Yeah, I think the first thing, we can get into social media. We know that. We've talked about the videos. We've talked about maximizing. We've talked about it all, right? Great. You're starting it all. What do we do first, right? So I think there's importance of setting objectives and KPIs, key performance indicators, right? When it comes to social media. Now, if we talk about Facebook, we're going to use Facebook because I feel like for any business owner out there, that's the first you should start with. Really, when it comes to just social media platforms, if you're not just necessarily shooting video, we talked about YouTube in the last episode, but Facebook, right? We talk about engagement and reach, right? Are you keeping your customers engaged? What's the engagement you're reaching? So there's a metric you want to set. Now, obviously, if you're starting from the ground up, I feel like any type of engagement you get is a great success. It's movement in the direction you're getting. But you want to set objectives for yourself. And the reason why, as any business owner knows, let's talk about it in lead format. As you get leads or calls, you're starting to go, okay, we hit 10 calls. Next month, I want to shoot for 20. Guess what? You're actually having progression you're shooting for. Same goes with social media and those types of measurements, right? You're going to have to set some benchmarks so that you know what you're working towards. The purpose of social media we talked about is getting your engagements to build a customer base, building your brand awareness, but setting those metrics up is going to help you determine how you're actually progressing with the content you're putting out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's some people might struggle with like, well, what do I even set as a goal, right? How do I set pragmatic goals that are realistic in nature, that are achieving the outcome that I want? The first thing is identifying what you pointed out, Bosco, right? The objectives. What are the objectives? What am I trying to do? Well, I'm trying to expand reach. Great. What are the metrics now that I need to look at in order for me to assess whether or not I'm expanding reach, right? So for example, if I do a social media post, two of the things that I'm going to look at, if I'm looking at engagement, I want to see, are people commenting on it?
Yeah.
Are people liking it? Are they sharing it? These are all things that tell me people are engaging with my content, right? Now, if you have 0 likes on your Facebook page, you're probably going to get 0 engagement, right? But as you continue to build this and you run social media advertising to get your ads and your social posts in front of a wider audience, it starts to create engagement on your page. People see things they like, they jump over to your page, they hit that subscribe button, they hit that like button. By the way, if you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for the Sharpest Tool podcast, continue to get more awesome content. But they do this on your Facebook page to help build followers. They start to follow you. So that's a few examples of how we can gauge engagement on your post to see what's hitting and what's not. What are some other examples that you see, Bosco, in terms of metrics that we would identify?
Well, I think that it just putting in some different context for, because I sometimes I know when we talk to business owners out there, we talk about it and it's kind of like, yeah, that was just, you're losing me. What do you mean by this? Think about it when you go to a conference, right? We know in the home service industry, we go to conferences all the time. What do you do at a conference? You network, right? You start to engage, right? That's the key concept here with social media platform. You're networking with your current followers, building up from there. So ideally, when you're setting up these types of metrics, right, getting that engagement, you're measuring that. So if you all of a sudden set out a post, don't be upset. That's your first post. First of all, congratulations. That's the first hurdle, is actually doing it. Yeah, there we go. You got to get that out there. But maybe you didn't get any likes on it. That's okay. But guess what you should do? You should share it. Get your friends to share it, right? That's free. That's free. Okay.
Yeah.
Get people to share it. Now, all of a sudden, you do another post. Be consistent here. We talked about a calendar, right? We talked about getting consistency. Be consistent. Get that next post out there. Guess what's probably going to happen? You get that one like. Movement. Now we're starting to see, right? So ideally, you're starting to see what's capturing and getting that engagement with your followers.
Yeah. It's so important too, what you called out, get the first post out. Recognize your first post is probably, it's not going to generate 1,000 likes, right? And for what it's worth, every post you put out is not equal to every post you put out. So you're going to have some posts that do really well.
Yeah.
And you're going to have some posts that don't do as well.
Yep.
In terms of engagement. Your goal, or the goal of your marketing team, or the goal of your internal marketing person, whoever's running your social media calendar, their goal is to step back and over a period of time, and it's important to do this too, over a period of time. We'll talk about this a lot whenever we talk about KPIs and metrics. Doing this over a period of time is super important to not isolate your data set into one day or one post. It's not giving you an accurate picture of how things are progressing, and progression, continuing to get better, continuing to build month over month over month. Are we seeing things go up and to the right? You know, that should be the barometer of success, especially as you're building brand. Building brand doesn't happen in a day, doesn't happen overnight, doesn't happen over a month. It happens by being consistent with what you're producing for your customer base. So that way they continue to talk about you, share you with their friends to be able to build a bigger customer base. And that happens over time. So it's really important to step back, look at things over time, month over month. How are things progressing? And that's okay to see things go up and to the right and then pull back and then not have a good month. But then you continue to push. You don't pull out when you do a pullback.
Yeah.
You push. You continue to push forward, learning from what is happening and continuing to build on that success that you've had in prior months.
Yeah. And speaking on that too, I've seen a lot of times that business owners, we talk to them about this and they go, great. Where do I see this? Right now, a lot of the times we have people, I'm out in the field, I'm too busy, but you can't shy away from looking at the data. First of all, utilizing analytics, right? You got to utilize the analytics and insights to further optimize what you're doing. So you're measuring these types of things, right? So you start to see, okay, I'm getting engagement to your point up and to the right, and it's dying back a little bit. Don't be afraid. Set some time for yourself to dive into your dashboard, whatever platform you're using. You've got to actually dive into it to understand it. Get your CSR, your marketing person, whomever's doing it. You want to make sure that you as a business owner are also understanding what's happening, because that is your brand. That person's representing you. You want to make sure that it's represented in the right way, but you actually have to understand what the metrics are showing. So up and to the right, there's some pullback. You're going to look at these fluctuations, but you got to make sure that you're utilizing that to further optimize. Wow, there was great engagement on these posts that I had a dog or puppy in or a baby in. All of a sudden, guess what's happening? I'm just going to throw that out there, but you're getting more engagement. All of a sudden, people are like, oh, I like that. So guess what you're going to do? Curate more content around that type so that you're actually optimizing for better performance, better engagement. So you can actually build up your brand for this. So don't be afraid to actually look at those types of things.
Yeah. Or if you feel like that's just over your head, get somebody who can look at it consistently, who knows what they're looking at. Because you can get in data overload. If you've ever logged into a Google Analytics account, is data overload, right? Especially as a small business owner. Now, as you continue to mature in the business and you have business operators and people who really understand, CRM platforms and OpSuite platforms and payment platforms and marketing platforms and dashboards, You're going to want to obviously task them with that. Or if this just interests you, there's so many tools out there that you can learn. But the analytics is so important. And then setting, I think, big goals. I think this is something that some people don't do enough. Sometimes you're focusing on the wrong metric, right? How many likes?
Yeah.
You hear about that all the time, right? It's a metric. Can you look at it? Yeah. Can you see if it's progressing or not? Yeah. Is it the right metric
Is it?
that you want to look at? Maybe, maybe not. And that's where I think you got to step back and assess. For example, if you're trying to build, if you have a goal of building up a follower base on Facebook, and that's an overarching goal, and your content, the social media marketing that you're doing is the vehicle you're using to build that follower base, so you can then offer specials and get in front of them in a different way, then the God metric, so to speak, is that, well, how many followers am I getting? Am I seeing that increase over time? It's going to be less about the clicks. It's going to be less about the likes, less about the comments, but that's something that you want to be focused on. Those are, again, vehicles to that. If it's, I need to get a specific lead volume, I want to set a target for me to get a specific lead volume from social media marketing. Understand the metrics that go into it. Don't set things arbitrarily either, right? Like, just because I'm spending $1,000 on my social media campaign, don't think that you're somehow going to generate 1,000 leads and every lead's going to cost $1. Setting it arbitrarily is a great way to kind of get frustrated with the process, I think. And so really make sure it's pragmatic, it's based and rooted in data of what companies have done prior. That's why partnering with marketing companies is a really powerful thing, because marketing agencies work with thousands, tens of thousands of customers in the exact same industries that you work in. So they have a plethora of data to be able to share about what does an actual good benchmark look like in terms of the KPIs and the overall goals that you're trying to achieve. And share those goals openly too with your marketing team. So important. So important.
You hit on something too in terms of that measurement. I think that's really crucial for a lot of business owners to understand, is you don't want to set that arbitrarily. You don't want to sit there and be like, yep, I'm going to give you $1,000 and I expect my call boards to be booked out and I'm crazy busy just because. No, this is an additional tool in your tool belt that you're going to be utilizing to build up your brand, to build up your lead generation over time, right? It's not the immediate, but it's that brand you're building, right? So that's a great starting point, right? And as you talk to your marketing person, if it's just you, that's okay, right? There's still these agencies out there that are willing to help. Talk to us if you need to. We're willing to help and talk you through these types of things and help you understand it. But just like you're out in the field day in and day out, you know your industry. Just like with us, we know the industry, we can speak to it, we can talk about it, we can help give insight so you can actually understand it better and how it's going to impact your business over time, right? So I love that. I love that. It's just a good reminder that exactly, you don't throw $1,000 at it and all of a sudden I'm going to get a massive amount of leads, right? It's just, you have to have the right expectations as you go into this. So
yeah, and the right context. Context is so important. Context is so important because it boils down to the goal.
Yep.
What's the overarching goal? What's the God metric that you're looking at for those goals? And then what are the activity-based metrics that really help us understand if things are moving the needle? And this makes me think too, Bosco, Google's been on a mission. I think Scorpion's been on a mission too, to really uncover this, of really understanding the customer journey, really understanding how a customer interacts with a business's digital presence.
Oh man.
Leading
They
up
are
to
everywhere.
And then even after we transact with the business. Because if you think about the customer funnel, right? Every customer starts in the place of the funnel where they have no idea who you are and what you do.
Nope.
And they don't have a need, so they don't care. Right?
They really don't. Why am I here?
Every person in the world is going to be in that kind of bubble at some point.
Oh, yeah.
But then they slowly start to move down the funnel and they start to say, you know what, I actually think I have a need, right? So there's a specific message for the top layer. Then there's another layer down where people are like, well, I think I have a need. I need information. I need assistance, right? There's that age of assistance that we're in.
Yep.
I need helpful content to help me understand if I have a problem or not. But then you get the helpful content, you understand if you have a problem, and then you start to say, you know, I actually probably should partner with a company to do this. You're slowly moving down the funnel and the message is different. The message you need as a customer is different throughout that journey. And I think Google and Scorpion and other marketing companies and marketing technology companies are on this mission to understand so intimately what that journey looks like. What are the dots that customers are connecting that ultimately lead them to the point of conversion where they're, you know what, zero moment of truth.
Yep.
I am ready to rock. I need a plumber to come out. I need an HVAC tech to come out and fix this problem for me because I cannot do it myself. Who's the right company? Google then surfaces, or wherever you're at surfaces, this is the company you need to take a look at because everybody is engaged with this company. And this is the best, most trusted, authoritative expert in the area that of what you need. But I think about how social media impacts this.
Yeah.
Right? How is it integrated from your perspective, Bosco, and what you've seen? What other marketing metrics help us paint a complete picture of the impact that social media marketing has?
Well, it's interesting you're touching on the marketing funnel. I like to use a different term when I talk about this because I want clients to really understand what this marketing funnel is. We've heard it over time. A lot of agencies talk about this, but I call it like the tornado marketing funnel. And I say tornado is because you're going around and around and around all the way down to the bottom of that tornado. But guess what's going to happen? It's going to spit you right back up to the top. Okay, there's a consistent cycle, and social media is going to play this big part because social media actually plays in almost every part of that journey that this client goes through, right? At one point, they're going to find you on this platform, and maybe they engage with you because you had some great content, and maybe that was through social media, right? Because they're not necessarily in need of a plumber, HVAC, roofer, insert your industry here. They're not in need of it. But it just so happened that you had some content that was trending and engaged with that person. All right, so now I'm kind of remembering you. But at another point down that funnel, I'm still on social media because I look at it every day, guilty. All of a sudden, I'm seeing it now at another point in time. And I'm like, man, it's getting really warm in my house right now. I wonder how my AC's doing. I check it, I turn it on, it's making some funny noises. I'm like, oh, I gotta call an HVAC tech. Okay, great, I gotta do this. And all of a sudden, but guess what? I'm gonna go back to social media because I don't wanna deal with my problems right now. So I'm gonna go back to social media, forget my problems. I'm gonna sit there and do that. But guess what? I found you again. But all of a sudden, now I'm searching online. Now I see all of a sudden an ad. Maybe it's in local service ads. Maybe it's Google PPC. Maybe it's organic. Maybe it's in a map. Insert however we found you in all the varieties of ways of doing it. Social media had that initial impact because I now remembered your name. I said, oh yeah, JRP's Plumbing Company. I remember that one. They did this really funny video. But guess what? It plays that impact. It's consistent, right? So social media is going to play a big part of what you're doing. And I talk about this. We talk about consistency in posting, but there's consistency in your marketing, right? This tornado funnel that you're going through, the client journey is just vast, different for every single person. They're going up and down, all around. And with these different tools that you're having, social media is going to play a big part in that because it stays throughout that journey. Yeah.
I think some of the metrics too that you might like think about because social media plays such a big part in engagement. There was a stat read a while ago that Google did, and they were uncovering these touch points, and it was something to the degree of anywhere between 5 to 20 touch points before a customer converts into a phone call. And by touch point, what they were referring to is a client interacting with or seeing your business in some way, shape, or form. So they're seeing it, whether it's on social media, whether it's a banner ad on Google, whether it's a video you did on YouTube, whether it's jumping to your website, bouncing around. 5 to 20 touch points. Think about that. That is a lot of opportunities to get the brand in front.
But imagine what you have to do to make sure you get those 5 to 20 touch points.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Oh my God. I can't stress that. Don't stay behind and be like, I'm doing referrals.
You're right. You're right. But it's like, because if you think about it, think about the brand that you're witnessed to 20 times and the brand you're witnessed to once. If you're in one of those areas, right, versus somebody who's in 20, who's going to be remembered more? Right? If you're dating your girlfriend and you go on one date with her and then somebody else comes down and they've been on 20 dates with her, who is she going to remember more? Right?
Yeah, I've learned my lesson. Don't worry.
Now, you might make a big impact, separate conversation, different story. But at the end of the day, one of the things that you'll start to see, I think, over time is more traffic to the website. You're top of mind. People start searching for you on Google. You'll start to see, they search for your name by name, not just I need a plumber, but they search for Bosco's Plumbing, right? Bosco's Bait and Tackle. They're searching for these things online. So that generates branded traffic over to the website. So over time, as you see this build and mature, as you see it become effective for your marketing campaigns, you'll start to see more traffic to the website. You'll start to see better branded traffic, people who are searching for you by name over to your website, which leads are always cheaper when people are searching for you by name versus just searching for a general plumber. There's not as much competition for your business name as there is for somebody searching for general, I need a plumber, right? So I think those are some of the other indicators that that you want to look at over time. Are these continuing to progress over time? Now, if they're not, it may not mean that your social media is ineffective for what it's worth. It may also mean that you're not doing enough. Right?
Oh my
You're
gosh,
not doing enough. So you need to actually double down in the social media area to be able to see those impacted much more dramatically, especially if you
double
want
down
to be
button.
impacted
Just hit
quicker. Double down.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah, go ahead.
no, I don't want to cut you off, but I'm going to cut you off. No,
Do it.
I think also what people need to remember, to your point, not doing enough, but remembering, again, putting it in perspective. For a plumber, you're going to go out and do a job. Imagine you went out with just a wrench. Could you do it? It's going to be really difficult to get the job done. Really difficult. That's all you get is one tool. But imagine that other plumber who's got the nice tool belt filled with all the right tools for the job. They're going to get the job done efficiently and effectively. Okay?
Yeah.
That goes for any trade. You got the right tools for the right job. This is part of it because it all feeds into exactly what you're doing, talking about traffic, right? It all impacts over time. It's the right tools for the job for your marketing. Think with that as you're going through this.
Huge call out. And I love how you emphasized efficiently and effectively. I just like get that burn in your brain. Be efficient and effective. It's amazing. This has been awesome. Hopefully the series was helpful to somebody listening. If it was, and you know somebody else who needs to hear it, definitely share this around so people can get more of the content that we're trying to produce here, just to be continuously find ways to help out the business owners that are in the trades or trying to figure this marketing thing out. It can be complex. It can be confusing. But just a quick recap. What we went over, the importance of video and social media marketing, the importance of social media marketing as it stands in the context of your marketing plan, the importance of engagement, the importance of using it for lead generation, but not just lead generation, using it for building brand awareness, expanding the reach of the business. And ultimately, at the end of the day, how are you measuring and tracking it? What goals are you setting for yourself? And how are you seeing this stuff improve over time? I think if you take away anything, though, that is the linchpin of what I've taken away, of what we've kind of drilled in on every single one of these episodes, Bosco.
It definitely wasn't taking a pair of socks golfing.
No, it was, yeah. Get a hole in one and start. Just start. Get a hole in one with your social media marketing. I think it was helpful. Any closing comments on social media, Bosco?
Just do it. Get out there. Don't be afraid, right? Don't be afraid to utilize this tool. It's effective and it's efficient.
It's effective and efficient. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Once again, I'm JRP. This is Bosco from The Sharpest Tool, produced and sponsored by Scorpion. If you haven't yet, hit the like button. Go and smash the subscribe button so you continue to get more of the awesome content that we're pumping out here. And if you have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Thanks, everyone.